Welcome to the reading session of the essay Indian Women and the Salt Satyagraha by Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay. Read along. By now, the women in India were completely convinced that freedom would have to be achieved by the Indian people through their own effort in their own country, and it was a colossal illusion. It was a colossal illusion to expect it to come from the British rulers. Thus, apart from the powerful draw of Mahatma Gandhiji's personality, this conviction led larger numbers of women from all walks of life and levels of society into the Salt Satyagraha movement, which now followed in the wake of the failure of the Round Table conferences. Gandhiji seemed unwilling to have women in the political direct programs at this stage. He explained he had other action plans for them. This resulted in a very historic incident. The women protested eloquently, pointing out his seeming anomalies, for he had left the care of his ashram in his absence completely in the hands of women. Their feelings were conveyed to him through a letter sent by Mrs. Cousins. She said, "Division of sexes in a non-violent campaign seems unnatural and against all the awakened consciousness of the women of today. In these stirring, critical days for India's destiny, there can be no watertight compartments of service. Women ask that no marches, imprisonments, no demonstrations organized for the benefit of India should prohibit women from a share in them." The women made it clear that while they respected his alternatives and were willing to take up picketing of foreign cloth, liquor shops, etc., their patriotism and eagerness to serve refused to recognize any bounds to the parameters of action. Getting freedom in our own country became a colossal illusion. Colossal meaning huge, and illusion a misunderstanding or a misconception. The women by now had understood that freedom was a hard nut to crack, and they wanted to play a significant role in the freedom movement. But they had to struggle, and they were failing to get the permission to act voluntarily and give an active participation from their own leaders. The women were convicted. They had conviction. They had determination. But their own leaders were not supporting them. Even Gandhiji, he said that women should not come into freedom politics, into direct actions. He left the ashram work in the hands of women in his absence. They protested actively and clearly. They found these anomalies. They found this odd, peculiar, and contradictory. And there was one Mrs. Cousins who wrote that in these challenging times, in these unstable, uncertain times, how could Gandhiji put the services of men and women into watertight compartments? Watertight compartments, clear divisions. This was not acceptable to the women. When they were supporting Gandhiji in picketing of foreign cloth, picketing means protesting or blocking, going against. When they were picketing foreign cloth, liquor shops, then why their patriotism was kept under doubt? They were eager to serve, and they could serve boundlessly. Why they were put into boundary, why their parameters of action were put into limits. They refused to accept their parameters of action. They wanted to work actively. They wanted to jump into direct action and work for the freedom of India. In the next video, we shall read what happened next. Thank you.